Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members of the House. 30 years ago today was a joyous day for America. Do you remember why? 30 years ago today, we were celebrating the Miracle on Ice, where the American hockey team won the gold medal in the 1980 Winter Olympics. For me personally, there was another cause for joy. It was the miracle of the birth of my son, Nicholas. I remember looking at him, and in all senses, he was perfect. Over the next several weeks, however, Nicholas was failing to thrive. I learned that he was missing over 3/4 of his brain and that he had no vision. His prognosis was not good. The doctors told us that if Nicholas survived, he would probably never walk, never talk, or never know that I was his mother. So today, Mr. Speaker, I speak on behalf of all the parents of disabled children. As a freshman member of this body, I look to the more senior members to help me do the best job possible of representing the people who have elected me in the city of Newport News in James City County. Because this House has demonstrated concern for individuals with disabilities, particularly individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, I feel comfortable in sharing with you what life is like for a parent of a child with severe and profound disabilities. When we realize that our child has disabilities, we could never have conceived of the joy that he has brought into our lives. But it was not easy. It was not easy at all to hear the words about our child, and even more, it was torture to have to give up the dreams we had for him. Dreams of activities together, learning together, school, sports, friends, hobbies, and career. In short, all the dreams each of you have for your children. Oh, we were told that a facility might answer our needs, but we love Nicholas and could not imagine him in any place but our home. With the assistance of our educational system, we were able to balance his needs, our careers, and our life for our family. There were several occasions during Nicholas's younger years that gave me strength. I remember vividly the day that he was trying to sit up for the very first time. He was 2.5 years old. He worked at it for 2 hours nonstop, but he finally made it. And when he did, he had the biggest smile on his face that one could ever imagine. He knew that what he had done just then was very big. I was crying tears of joy. One would have thought that that child had just won a gold medal at the Olympics. He certainly deserved one that day for his perseverance. The significance of the event, however, was that as a general rule, a child who sits by two will walk. And so I was hopeful that although it was 6 months past the targeted date, that my child would still walk. Mr. Speaker, members of the House, imagine, if you will, trying to teach your child a simple game such as patty cake every day, over and over again for 5 years, with never a response. You think it's hopeless. You think that he can never learn this very simple task. And then one day, out of the blue, he patty cakes back. And you realize that all your efforts over those years have not been in vain. You realize that as long as your child is giving 150%, you can never give up on your child. Just as any parent, I wanted the best for my child and worked hard to make it happen. Fortunately, we were not alone, and we sought the support through the schools, through our medical professionals, and through our community. Every activity, every mobility that any of us take for granted must be provided as assistance for Nicholas. Every activity, regardless of what it is, takes longer and significant planning. And in order to have some time for my husband and other 3 children and our careers, we needed qualified care providers to cover after-school care. It wasn't easy finding caregivers, and when we did, it was always at a premium cost. Suddenly one day, the time came that my husband and I both had feared for many years. Nicholas grew up. He was twice my size, and I could no longer lift him or tend to his needs. My husband had just been diagnosed with a heart problem and required quadruple bypass surgery. He could no longer help take care of Nicholas either. It was time to find a place for Nicholas, a place where he would be safe and secure and where his needs would be met. Fortunately for us as a family, we were able to receive a waiver slot for Nicholas, which changed his life and ours in many ways. For the first time in 24 years, I was able to leave my house to go to the grocery store to pick up a carton of milk without having to worry whether somebody was there to watch this child. But the biggest relief was that the transition for Nicholas would be over time and not an emergency placement. This is not the case for many families who often wait decades to find the peace of mind that their loved one will be taken care of. Today, Mr. Speaker, I understand that there are over 4,800 people waiting for waivers. That number grows every month. We can do better. We must do better.